Yes, good morning, everyone. Hello, namaskar. Good morning, everyone. So let's start. Okay. In our last class, we were discussing about phoneme, allophone. What are these? Just phone is used smallest perceptible discrete unit of sound. Uh, Here, just we understand is phone is uh, phone is you know uh, phone is sounds that can be realized is that can be physically realized. Yes, yes, physically realized. यो फिजिकली जे देखिन्छ जे रियलाइज गरिन्छ त्यो चाहिँ फोन हो होइन. So it is a concrete unit, a discrete unit of sound heard. This means it is the actual physical realization of sound, and it is the actual physical realization of sound in the form of speech or whatever comes in the mouth of the speaker, having its physical shape, that is phone. यति बुझ्यो हुन्छ. Phone refers to this. It is the actual physical realization of the sounds in the form of speech or whatever comes in the mouth. जे चाहिँ बाहिर निस्किन्छ नि मुखबाट त्यो नै फोन हो के. The physical realization हुन्छ नि, that is phone होइन. Like so this is what example. फोन चाहिँ अहिले इक्जाम्पल हेरौँला. अहिले चाहिँ जे स्पिकरको मुखबाट बाहिर निस्कन्छ त्यो चाहिँ फोन हो होइन. that has physical shape, concrete shape होइन. that is phone. र फोनिम भनेको चाहिँ साउन्ड हो यो होइन. फोनिम इज वाट साउन्ड लाइक यसलाई डिफाइन गर्दाखेरि यसरी डिफाइन गरौँ. a minimal contrasting sound unit of language. This is one definition. Similarly, a minimal unit of sound capable of distinguishing words of different meanings. So both po and bo are phonemes in English because they are capable of making meaning difference in the word pin and bin. So this is enough on यसको definition. Then allophone refers to variants or contextual realization of phoneme, different realization of phoneme. If a phoneme has two or more different realizations, then these realizations are what called allophones of that phoneme. For example, your example thus we can say that the dental nasal sound in the word 10th. I know. We have sound ko farak paryo. So is what tha is what and elbow or na. This one example will make it clear. Phoneme, here is the phoneme is here, होइन. यहाँ चाहिँ phoneme प हुन्छ होइन. प इज वाट फोनिम. तर यो प को रियलाइजेसन चाहिँ जस्तो एउटा प हुन सक्छ फुल फोनिम हुन्छ होइन. अर्को एस्पिरेटेड प हुन्छ होइन. अर्को यो प हुन सक्छ. सो these are various realization of what? These are various realization of प साउन्ड हैन देन दे आर द एलोफोन्स देन फुल फोनिम प चाहिँ हुन सक्छ यतापट्टि फुल फोनिम यहाँ प चाहिँ छुटेछ यहाँ चाहिँ फुल फोनिम प आउन पर्छ हैन सो दिस इज व्हाट हो यो चाहिँ फोनिम भयो हैन यो प चाहिँ फोनिम भयो यो प को रियलाइजेसन सरी बुझ्दाखेरि यसरी बुझौँ हैन त सो प इज व्हाट फुल फोनिम देन दिस प चाहिँ यो प लाई चाहिँ हामीले यो प भन्न सकिन्छ यसको स्प्रेड प फ यो प लाई फ भन्न सकिन्छ हैन then this also another realization of प so these are the allophones र फोन पनि हो फोन भनेको कि एक्चुअली जे बाहिर आउँछ नि त्यो बाहिर आउने चाहिँ फोन भयो फिजिकल शेपमा देखिने बाहिर आउने मुखबाट बाहिर निस्किने जे लेखिन्छ नि त्यो चाहिँ फोन हो एलोफोन भनेको भेरिएसन भइहाल्यो फोन भनेको फोनिम भनेको चाहिँ दिस इज द स्मलेस्ट मिनिमल युनिट अफ साउन्ड smallest minimal unit of sound that is if we that is distinctive if we change the phoneme and it brings change in meaning also त्यही भएर यहाँ एउटा उदाहरण दिउँ p and pen p and pen this p is what one phoneme and then t and ten this toy is what this is also phoneme so if this pa and this ta is interchanged or changed then what happens meaning also will be changed so phoneme bhaneko yahi ho phoneme is minimal unit of sound which is distinctive minimal unit of sound minimal unit of sound which is distinctive 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 यो एकदमै distinctive हुन्छ विशेष हुन्छ if we change phoneme if we change phoneme in words in a word it brings it brin just brings change in meaning यो meaning मै अर्थमै फरक ल्याइदिन्छ के जस्तै for example उदाहरणको लागि in the word p and pen the sound pa is phoneme p h o n e m e phoneme when the sound pa is changed by another sound like t ta when the sound pa is changed by another sound like ta there will be change in meaning may change हुन्छ के so this is called what phoneme भनेको यही हो हैन phoneme p h o n e p h o n e phoneme ल minimal unit of sound which is distinctive एकदमै फरक छ विशेष छ if we change phoneme in a word it brings change in meaning मा फरक हुन्छ for example जस्तै उदाहरणको लागि in the word pen the sound pa is phoneme full phoneme distinctive sounds when the sound pa is changed by another sound like ta and then there will be change in meaning like के हुने भयो भने pen थियो t and ten हुने भयो so this is called phoneme allophone भनेको a l l o p h o n allophone भनेको allophone refers to what refers to variation of the same phoneme त्यही phoneme को variation नै के हो भने allophone refers to the variation of the same phoneme for example उदाहरणको लागि we have what for example the sound the sound pa or ka junle pani bhayo haina, pa can be realized by other different variants or variants, like पालाई चाहिँ डिफ्रेन्ट भेरिएन्ट्सबाट हामीले रियलाइज गर्न सकिन्छ कि जस्तै अब भेरिएन्ट्स भन्ने बित्तिकै हामी फेरि स्क्वायर ब्राकेटमा राख्नुपर्छ है स्क्वायर ब्राकेटमा फुल फोनिम्स भन्ने बित्तिकै स्लान्टेड लाइनमा हुन्छ फोनिम स्लान्टेड लाइन्स एन्ड what allophone चाहिँ we write in the square bracket. So this what for example pa is what यो पनि एउटा allophone हुन सक्छ एउटा भेरिएन्ट अर्को भेरिएन्ट भनेको pa को हामी aspirated pa बनाउन सक्छौं this is हैन so yes pa and aspirated pa these are what allophones I know. So can be realized in different forms like this. So allophones do not bring change in meaning. Allophone ले चाहिँ meaning मा अर्थमा चाहिँ परिवर्तन ल्याउँदैन जस्तै हामीले p and pen भन्नु र then p and pen and aspirated n ल यसो यो दुईटैको अर्थ एउटै हुन्छ के so p and pen also writing instrument is also writing instrument लेख्ने चीजै हो यो हैन instrument हैन and pen भने पनि it is also what writing instrument this is what mean there will be no change in meaning writing instrument so in this way we understand allophone allophone also what this is just variation different realization of the same phoneme refers to what minimal unit of sound which is distinctive if we change phoneme in word it brings change in meaning for example in the word p and pen the sound pa is phoneme when the pa sound is replaced replaced or changed by another sound like ta there will be change in meaning like 10 this is what this is number so phoneme just we understand this is minimal unit of sound human speech sounds human speech sounds human speech speech sounds which is distinctive फरक छ अरु भन्दा if we change phoneme in a word brings change in meaning for example pen and ten pa and ta they are full phonemes when they are replaced and they will what change in meaning allophone refers to the variations of the same phoneme एउटै phoneme को variation हरुकै फरक realization variations of the same phoneme or different realization different realizations refers to allophone refers to variation of the same phoneme variation फरक रूप होने and different realization फरक तरिकाले representation गर्ने this is called what allophone for example the sound pa can be realized by other different variants like unaspirated pa this is what unaspirated pa then aspirated pa हैन यो दुईटा के भने भेरिएसन हो केको त pa sound को then allophones do not bring change in for example p and pen is also it is also writing instrument यो पनि writing instrument नै हो p h e and fan भने पनि it is also writing instrument so pen भन्नु र fan भन्नुमा meaning मा change आउँदैन so allophone ले meaning मा change ल्याउँदैन no change in meaning but what different realization of the same phoneme so phone is what phone is what actual phone actual realization or sound which has physical PHI ESI physical realization हैन यो भयो भने जे चाहिँ बाहिर आउँछ नि जे चाहिँ बाहिर आउँछ बाहिर देखिन्छ जे चाहिँ लेखिन्छ नि that is what phone actual realization sound which has physical realization sound which speaker produces हैन जे चाहिँ बाहिर आउँछ that is what that is phone that is phone so जे चाहिँ बाहिर आउँछ जे चाहिँ लेखिन्छ that is phone for example प भन्यौ हामीले हैन this is phone हैन this is phone हामीले spirit प भन्यौ spirited sorry spirited प भन्यौ this is also what this is also physical realization यो पनि फोनै भइहाल्यो so this is what etc हैन this is यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले फोन भन्छ actual realization of the sound from this figure also you can understand this p is what full phoneme and this is distinctive sound human speech sounds and this phoneme may be realized by different other variants like unspirited p spirited p हैन like this we can realize these are what allophones when they are in the actual written form मा आउने बित्तिकै त्यो फेरि फोन्स हो यसलाई यसरी बुझाउँ हैन फुल phoneme allophone and morph phone then morpheme is what smallest meaningful unit of language this is what this is smallest meaningful unit of language it's called what morpheme यो meaningful हुन पर्यो हैन for example उदाहरणको लागि for example cat भनेको के हो this is what one meaningful unit of language हैन it is meaningful then if we try to break this word into smaller units then it will be meaningless यो अर्थ हुँदैन त्यो सबैभन्दा सानो meaningful unit of language ने के हो morpheme हो it is the lowest level of language हैन जस्तै morpheme त्यसपछि word त्यसपछि phrase हैन त्यसपछि clause this sentence भने हामीले levels of उमा हेरेको थियौ नि grammar हैन levels of grammar so morpheme is the what smallest meaningful unit of language okay यसलाई यतिकै राख्ने कि यसलाई हटाउने हो यतिकै राख्दा राम्रो देखिन्छ होला हैन okay ल कति गराउँ है this is what morpheme सामान्य यो morpheme भनेर बुझौँ यसलाई चाहिँ हैन morpheme was smallest smallest meaningful unit माथि चाहिँ के भनेको थियो फोनेममा चाहिँ minimal distinctive sounds human speech sound भनेको थियौ त्यो पनि के हुन्छ नि distinctive छ if we change meaning will be changed हैन and then morpheme is what this is smallest meaningful unit of language हैन it's called morpheme for example cat हैन p and pen हैन and book these are morpheme they are meaningful then if we try to break or divide morpheme morpheme into other smaller units they will be what के हुन्छ तिनीहरु meaningless हुन्छ कि MEANING meaningless अर्थ दिदैन त्यसले and if we try to break गर्न खोजियो भने if we try to break or divide then they will be meaningless just like for example if we try to break pen if we try to break the word, the morpheme, the morpheme, morpheme, morpheme into smaller, smaller units like जस्तै हैन अ भन्यो हैन अथवा ए अथवा एन भन्यो यसरी ब्रेक गर्न खोजियो भने चाहिँ यसको अर्थ हराउँछ फेरि मिनिङ विल बी चेन्ज्ड सो मिनिमल smallest minimal unit of meaningful unit of language is morpheme so if we try to break then meaning will be lost meaning haraउँछ हैन so for example if we try to break the morpheme into morpheme like pen into smaller units like pay an के हुन्छ त्यसपछि meaning will be what meaning will be lost meaning हराउँछ त्यही भएर morpheme भनेको के भने smallest meaningful unit of language if we try to break and they will lose what their meaning अर्थ हराउँछ their morpheme भनेको त्यो for example similarly similarly in the words in the word for example एउटा भनौं त teachers in the word teachers how many morphemes do we have in the word teachers we have how many morphemes ल भन्नु त how many morphemes do we have in the teachers 3 morphemes Prakash yes 3 morphemes we have what are they we have yes 3 morphemes M-O-R-P-H-E-M-E yes 3 morphemes they are के तिनीहरु teach one morpheme it has one meaning full meaning हैन teach भने full meaning आउँछ er एउटा नाउन भइदिन्छ er थप्ने बित्तिकै टीचर हुन्छ teach भन्ने बित्तिकै एउटा verb हुन्छ हैन er थप्ने बित्तिकै नाउनमा जान्छ टीचर अनि yes थप्ने बित्तिकै हुन्छ प्लुरलाइजेसन हुन्छ teach teacher teachers हैन so teach one morpheme er another morpheme yes another morpheme हैन so they are these 3 morphemes we have हैन तीनटा morpheme छ so okay in this way we understand cat is what full cat has only one morpheme that is what full morpheme this is what in this way we understand so morph allomorph yellow सकिहाल्छ yellow M-O-R-P-H allomorph is what this is the different realizations of what realizations of morpheme M-O-R-P-H-E-M-E morpheme such as उदाहरणको लागि चाहिँ for example cats this is what pluralization हैन in the same way O-X-E-N oxen here also pluralization en so these are what etc so here yes also pluralization हैन plural भन्छ en ले पनि plural भन्छ so this pluralization morpheme in these EXAMPL examples the M-O-R-P-H-E morpheme pluralization is pluralization okay pluralization is realized by yes also yes and en हो सेम en भन्दा पनि pluralization धेरैमै आउने नै हो yes भन्दा पनि धेरैमा नै आउने हो so this is what realization of pluralization this is what allomorph morph is what actually like what whatever we produce PRODUC, produce as morpheme. That is what morph. Morpheme को रूपमा जे चाहिँ हामी प्रोड्युस गर्छ, जस्तै फोन भने जस्तै एक्चुअल सेप आउने नै के हो भने त्यो morph हो के. So in this way, like phone morph is what? Having actual shape. Whatever we produce as morpheme, having actual physical shape, this is what morph. In this way, we understand these terms. You also study. र हामीले यसलाई धेरै टाइम नबिताउँ हैन, अब अगाडि बढौँ. So these are what study we discussed. Now let's go to the pedagogical implication of linguistics. After the knowledge of linguistics is what scientific study of language. It studies language from production point of view. It studies from the organizational point of view. It studies from the developmental point of view. So linguistics, just to remind, linguistics is what? Linguistics is SCIEN, scientific study of human speech sounds. Right? Just here. अथवा human speech sounds or human language, human language. It studies from what? From production point of view, PRODU, production point of view, organizational point of view, then developmental point of view, production, organization, developmental points of view, point of views. यो दृष्टिकोणबाट हेर्छ भने then we understand के बुझिन्छ हामीले, how number one, how many sounds are there, how many sounds are there in English, and there how many sounds are there in a language, एउटा यो थाहा हुन्छ how many sounds are there in a language, एउटा यो थाहा हुन्छ. Then how many, what are the organs of speech, कुन organs of speech involved हुन्छ, then how these sounds are produced भनेको तिनीहरुको pronunciation, PRONUNC pronunciation, how the sounds are produced, pronunciation we understand, then how sounds are organized to make words, so this spelling we understand, spelling SPELLI, spelling we understand. अरु के हामीलाई benefit हुन्छ linguistics बाट, यसो पहिला लिस्टिङ गरौँ त. So how many sounds are there in a language, यो थाहा हुन्छ हामीलाई, For example, English language has 44 sounds भने चाहिँ तपाईको linguistic knowledge हो. Then what are the organs of speech? यो different organs of speech linguistic knowledge ले हामीलाई थाहा हुन्छ, So then how the sounds are produced, like pronunciation, like how pa sound produced, how ba sound produced, how ta sound, ka sound produced. So these are what the knowledge of linguistics. Then linguistic knowledge but आउने हो. Then we need these things in teaching language, how sounds are produced, how are sounds, how are sounds, how are sounds organized to make words, spelling हाम्रो थाहा हुन्छ. अरु के थाहा हुन्छ होला? So suprasegmental features, formation of words. Okay, I wrote formation of words. Go on writing, go on, लेख्नु त. We understand this spelling and formation of words. अथवा formation छुट्टी राखौँ है त. How words are formed. यो थाहा हुन्छ भनेपछि formation of word, we understand. Then लेख्दै जानुहोस् त च्याट बक्समा यहाँबाट इम्प्लिकेसन तान्ने हामीले this we understand from the knowledge of what linguistics how are words formed how words are formed and then to know the variations between languages which organs of speech used for which sounds yes त्यो भनेकै pronunciation मा जान्छ हैन word meaning using language in social relation yes social relation use of language हैन how language is used how language is used in the society it differs how language is used in the society so this is what sociolinguistics socio linguistic from this we understand okay good go on word meaning using language in social relation varieties of language variety varieties of language language this word dialects we understand what are the different varieties what are the different varieties of language diale dialects aru bhanu aru lekhau ta so aru psycholinguistic तिर जानुस् how language is changed levels of language okay levels of language what are the different levels of levels of language one thing भन्ने बित्तिकै यहाँ के हुन्छन् phonetics बाट सुरु हुन्छ phonetics त्यसपछि phonology त्यसपछि morphology त्यसपछि syntax syntax semantics त्यसपछि pragmatics pragmatics and what discourse 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 so these different knowledge we have okay go on to provide test materials what are the different branches of linguistics okay branches of linguistics IPS symbols and teaching materials labels we understand others लेख्नु त IPS symbols चाहिँ नराखौं different fields like psycholinguistic बाट के थाहा हुन्छ yes how language is acquired okay how do learners learn languages languages यो भनेको कहाँबाट थाहा हुन्छ psycholinguistics by the knowledge of psycholinguistics we understand language psycholinguistics ko knowledge but hamla ke thaha huncha how do learners learn language what are the difficulties what are the strategies what are the difficulties what are the strategies learners use in course of learning target language mother tongue second language or other languages so psycholinguistic this informs or gives idea okay language language differences okay how what are the differences and what similarities between or among the between languages के छ यिनीहरुको फरक त्यहाँबाट पनि हामीले के ल्याउँछ यो कहाँबाट आउँछ कन्ट्रास्टिभ CONTRASTIC कन्ट्रास्टिभ एन्ड एरर एनालिसिस यहाँबाट आउँछ न अब यतिबाट टुङ्गाइदिउँ 6-7 वटा यसो इम्प्लिकेसन तान्ने हो different systems of language also we understand okay now let's talk about these points how many sounds are there in language sound thaha huncha bachchaharulai teacher la thaha huncha then teacher tries to make aware to the students and these are the sounds of Nepali language these are the sounds of English language Hindi language or something else like in English we have till now ma chai yo 44 वटै भन्छु है so 8 what 12 monophthong 8 what diphthong then what 24 what consonants. Altogether, we have 44 sounds in English. Sounds in English. This kind of knowledge we get from what linguistics, like phonetics. Phonetics what are you 12 monophthongs we have, 8 diphthongs we have. These are the vowels, VOWEL vowels. Vowel sounds. We have what 12 monophthongs, MONOPHTHONGS monophthongs, and DIPSTHONGS diphthongs. We have mono PHTHONGS monophthongs. We have these monophthongs and 8 diphthongs and 20 what 20 consonant sounds. CON, SON, ANTS consonants or consonant sounds. Altogether we have 44. You call it new. This kind of idea we get from the phonetics. Phonetics what else your idea? Yes. Then you ideally then teacher can implement or utilize this idea while teaching English sound system to the learners. Okay. One idea is this. What do we difference between monophthongs and diphthongs? So what are the speech organs? Speech organs we help our learners to pronounce the sounds, words. What are the different speech organs? Speech organs like lip, lips organs of speech, tongue, lip, tongue, others. What are the different organs of speech? Lips, tongues. Yes, try. Teeth, okay. TEETS, teeth. Great. TEETS, teeth. We use. Okay, go on. Palate. Palate. Labiodental, glottis. Okay. These are what different parts of what different organs of speech. Lip use uncha, tongue use uncha, teeth use uncha. These are few to mention here. Is lip, lower lip and upper lip. Tongue ma different parts uncha. Tip of the tongue, blade of the tongue, plate of the tongue. So different parts will be there. So these will be directly, indirectly will be involved in the production of what speech sound. So your knowledge on Vitike, then teacher helps to the students to learn how to pronounce the particular sound. So how sounds are organized into a logical order to make a particular word. This is the area of phonology. Phonology area spelling just pa, a, na, 3 sounds are there, and these 3 sounds are organized in a systematic order. Pa first, a second, na third. Pain huncha. Yeso bhanne bittike bachalai spelling पनि थाहा हुन्छ. And then word formation will be there, and this is what phonology what you artha थाहा हुन्छ. Then how words are formed here, morpheme हामीले कुरा गर्यौं अघि, morpheme को कुरा आउँछ. Then what allomorph को कुरा आउँछ, MORPH allomorph को कुरा आउँछ. Then what morph को कुरा आउँछ. So these are what MORPH. So your knowledge हुने बित्तिकै so teacher, teachers भन्ने त्यहाँ तीनटा morpheme छ भनेर बच्चाले बुझ्छ हैन. So accordingly the similar schools भन्ने बित्तिकै school is what one word. When we add yes, this is pluralization, we have 2 morphemes भनेर बुझ्छ. So this word formation शब्द कसरी बन्छ भन्ने कुराहरु. So this is what morphology what आउँछ. Sociolinguistics, there are in the society, in the SOCIE, in the society, many what languages and varieties of languages. Variety of a language. LAN language and varieties of a language. Varieties of a language are used, are spoken or used. SPOKN, spoken or used. बोलेको हुन्छ हैन. यो यहाँबाट के थाहा हुन्छ नि यहाँबाट के नलेज आउन सक्छ भने सो ल्याङ्ग्वेज dialects then students they know the knowledge of different language and dialects as well as how to use language in different context फरक कन्टेक्स्टमा कसरी ल्याङ्ग्वेजलाई प्रयोग गर्ने भन्ने पनि सिक्छ हैन सो फर्मल सेटिङ इनफर्मल सेटिङ विथ हुम वी आर स्पिकिङ कोसँग बोलिराखेका छौं कसरी बोल्ने यो सबै कुराहरु के हुन्छ नि फ्रम द सोशल लिङ्ग्विस्टिक्स नलेजबाट चाहिँ हामीले युज गर्न सक्छौं सो by this knowledge we can teach our students, we can help students how to use language in relation to society मा भाषालाई कसरी प्रयोग गर्ने भन्ने कुराहरु हामीले कक्षा कोठामा नै सिकाउन सक्छौं now psycholinguistics is another branch of linguistics and it talks about it deals with what it deals with केसँग कुरा गर्छ यसले human mind and language correlation लाई हेर्छ human mind and it deals with the human mind and language relation दिमागले human mind ले कसरी चाहिँ language लाई acquire गर्छ learn गर्छ then process different processes यसले बताउँछ so यसले चाहिँ के दिन्छ भने sequential sequential order कसरी भाषा सिकिन्छ भन्ने कुरा sequential order or natural order of what language learning we get from what we get from psycholinguistic so accordingly we can focus in our classroom what is the natural order of language learning which words which sentences what kind of sentences what kind of word what kind of sounds students learn first similarly we can help our students to learn in the classroom then by this knowledge we can make English language teaching classroom more effective. Contrastive analysis or error analysis is very important because there will be similarities and differences between languages like we are going to discuss after this we are going to discuss about Nepali language and English language sound system sound system when there is similarity then students feel easy to learn when there are differences then students feel difficult to learn difficult sound हुने बित्तिकै हुन्छ नि फरक हुन्छ for example उदाहरण लागि for example like the sound this sounds that sounds here दुई तीनटा sound हेरौं these sounds for and generally very often we give example of these two sounds the sounds for and are different in English and Nepali. Then Nepali speakers of English, Nepali learners of English face difficulty in learning the sounds for and ba because of what? In Nepali, these for and ba sounds are bilabial sound, and in English they are what? Levidental sounds. Then place of articulation will be different. Learners they feel difficult. So in this difficulty area, teachers can focus and what teach accordingly. Contrastive analysis, error analysis, this kind of knowledge we can gain. Now, on the basis of this micro discussion, then we have to point out some of the similarity or some of the implications of what linguistics in language teaching. Linguistics को knowledge language teaching ma kasari lana sakincha यति कुराहरु हेर्न पर्यो हैन so here just I have mentioned the introduction part introduct introduction so here we say that linguistics and language teaching have close and intimate relationship एकदम close relationship छ linguistics is the science of language whereas language teaching is the application part of linguistics linguistics ले भाषाको अध्ययन गर्दिन्छ अनि त्यसको एप्लिकेसन चाहिँ language teaching ले गर्छ both are the separate and well established field of inquiry both are separate disciplines छोटे-छोटे विधाहरु हो हैन both have well established separate field of inquiry research study को छोटे उछ but they are related linguistic studies the nature of language then how language is learned and this and that. Then language teaching applies the findings of what linguistics. There has been long debate about a relationship between linguistics and language teaching. Particularly, there are three views about them. There are तीनटा भ्यू चाहिँ देखिन्छ हामीले चाहिँ प्र्याक्टिसमा हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ टिचिङ डिभोर्स फ्रम लिङ्ग्विस्टिक्स शिक्षण चाहिँ हामीले टिचिङ लर्निङ एक्टिभिटी गर्दाखेरि लिङ्ग्विस्टिक्सको नलेजलाई वास्ता गर्दैनौँ त्यो भनेको के ग्रेट डिस्कनेक्ट सम्बन्धै छैन दुईटा बीचको हैन सो ल्याङ्ग्वेज टिचर्स दे डु नट care about, they do not consider about linguistics knowledge. Whatever they know and they teach. Linguistics को knowledge को आधारमा पढाइदैन यो एउटा चाहिँ के डिबेट को पोइन्ट हो अर्को चाहिँ टिचिङ इन हार्मोनी विथ लिङ्ग्विस्टिक्स यस यो भनेको we teach according to the knowledge of linguistics in connection and they have close relationship. When we get the knowledge of what linguistics, then this knowledge we try to implement in language classroom. This is, and third point is what mutual exchanges. So linguistics provides some input to the language teaching. Language teaching also provides some input to the linguistics. So they what share, give and take, a process we can say in between teaching and what linguistics. यो तीनटा भ्यू चाहिँ देख्न सकिन्छ जेनरली हैन एउटा चाहिँ फर एक्जाम्पल यसो सोच्नुस् न our English teachers who are teaching English do they consciously study about linguistics and then remember about linguistics and try to implement in the classroom, or they do what they do without remembering, without considering the linguistic knowledge. So mostly what I feel is most of the teachers they teach English without considering the linguistic knowledge. And linguistic यति एउटा साउन्ड हुन्छ यो साउन्ड यस्तो हैन भनेर डाइरेक्टली यसलाई चाहिँ लिङ्ग्विस्टिक नलेजलाई सम्झेर क्लासरुममा पढाउने भन्ने टिचरहरू आई थिंक देयर आर भेरी रेयर, भेरी फ्यू टिचर्स आर सच हैन. This indicates there is great disconnect between language teaching and linguistics. There are some teachers also who try to connect linguistic knowledge in teaching field also, and there are some few teachers also who realize there is of course give and take process between linguistics and language teaching भन्ने पनि हुनुहुन्छ हैन. अब यो ब्याकग्राउन्डबाट चाहिँ हामीले केही चाहिँ implication draw गर्न पर्छ हैन. Linguistics and language teaching has interactional and transactional relationship. Interactional means they interact each other हैन, both sides they interact. Then transactional means give and take. This means linguistics has something to give to the language teaching. Language teaching also has something to give to the linguistics. So they have transactional, give and take relationship for transformation. रूपान्तरण चाहियो नि त learning. So for the transformation in language teaching and learning, for the transformation in education, in learning language. So linguistics and language teaching should have interactional and transactional relationship. यो हुनुपर्छ हैन. They have reciprocal relationship, means give and take, one supports to another. Linguistic theories provide guidelines for the development of language theories हैन, guidelines for the language teaching भन्यौ हैन. So linguistic theories provide guidelines for the development of language teaching. यसलाई language theory language teaching अथवा theories भनेर language teaching learning theory or guidelines for the learning theories like behaviorism, mentalism, constructivism, social constructivism. These are the learning theories. On the other hand, language teaching applies the findings of what linguistics. Linguistics language teaching को अब यहाँ implication में इसो जाऊँ. Teachers get benefits in अब यहाँ यसलाई अलि राम्रोसँग बनाऊँ यो पोइन्टलाई. Teachers get benefit in lesson planning to focus on phonemic awareness, phonics, pronunciation aspect of English sounds, words भन्ने छ हैन. यसलाई कसरी गर्ने? Teachers get benefits. Teachers should utilize knowledge of phonetics phonetics हैन phonology हैन phonetics and phonology to help learners learn like teachers every teacher should utilize knowledge of phonetics and phonology to help learners learn or develop phonemic awareness, phonics and pronunciation aspect of English sounds and words. यसले लेख्दा कस्तो हुन्छ? This is one point. Okay. So here you are asking 3 views. Would you mind repeating it? 3 views are here. Just teaching divorce from linguistics. We teach without considering linguistic knowledge. Whatever we know, and linguistics, you psycholinguistic, you sociolinguistic knowledge, you phonetics, you morphology, semantics, syntax, pragmatics, you knowledge. Great disconnect between teaching and what linguistics. So teaching in harmony with linguistics, we have the knowledge of linguistics. We are conscious, alert, then we consciously utilize the linguistic knowledge in language teaching. This is what in harmony, in coordination. Then mutual exchange means language teaching linguistics like a input and linguistics also provide some input to the language teaching. For example, linguistics provides many language inputs to the teaching, and this is clear. But how linguistics how language teaching provides, what kind of inputs language teaching provides to the linguistics? So there might be some difficulty areas. Learners are not learning, then there are problematic situation in learning language, and they will be the area for the linguistics. Very linguistically त्यो एरियामा चाहिँ स्टडी गर्न सक्छ. Why learners are feeling difficult, why learners are showing typical behavior, new behavior in learning particular sounds in particular area of language, हैन त्यसमा फेरि language teachingले linguisticलाई केही दिन सक्छ input, हैन. Then linguistics works further, studies further, अलि बढी अध्ययन गर्न सक्छ linguistics ले, हैन. So this kind of English teachers should utilize knowledge of phonetics and phonology to help their learners learn or develop phonemic awareness. What is phonemic awareness? What is phonemic awareness? What is phonemic awareness? On the basis of linguistic language is made. Try. What is phonemic awareness? Phonics, phonemic awareness. प्रकार sounds the हो the sound system हो, तर exact के हो phonemic awareness? Phonemic awareness भनेको how sounds are produced, हैन. त्यो रिलेसन भन्दा पनि how sounds are produced भन्ने चाहिँ यो phonemic awareness. How sounds are produced. Sounds कसरी produce हुन्छ, कुन sound हो चिन्न पर्यो, पहिचान गर्नु पर्यो, आइडेन्टिफाई गर्नु पर्यो, हैन. How sounds are produced, which speech organs are involved, POL involved in the production of particular speech sounds, हैन. Particular speech sounds यो सबै के हो भने phonemic awareness मा जान्छ के. phonemic भनेको phoneme हो, awareness भनेको अब how what are the phonemes, हैन. यहाँ जस्तै what are the phonemes, PHONEME, what are the phonemes, हैन. How phonemes, sounds are phonemes, PHONEME. How sounds are phonemes are produced, कसरी produce हुन्छ, हैन. Then which organs of speech are involved in the production of particular sounds, speech sounds or phonemes, PHONEM. Phonemes, this is about phonemic awareness. यो चाहिँ यसको knowledge भइसकेपछि then teacher helps students to be familiar with the phonemes, to be familiar with the production process, speech organs गर्छ. And phonics refers to what? What is phonics? What is phonics? Phonics के हो फेरि? Phonics is what? Knowledge of this is a knowledge of knowledge of sound and symbol. This is our phonics. Phonics is what? Sound symbol relationship. Knowledge of one sound. In English, we don't have one-to-one relationship. एउटा sound, एउटा symbol हुँदैन हामीसँग हैन. How sounds are transmission भन्दा पनि how sounds are what? Represented. How sounds are represented. त्यो soundलाई कसरी representation गर्ने भन्ने हो के. For example, तपाईले यो for example, उदाहरण लागि चाहिँ we have what? Why is what? This is what? P sound हैन. र प साउन्डलाई हामीले अथवा भनौं क साउन्ड भनौं एकछिन. क sound, we have क sound. Then how we represent this क sound? क sound will be REPRESENT represented by different symbols. Yes, I am different symbols such as जस्तै कसरी गर्न सकिन्छ क साउन्डलाई रिप्रेजेन्टेसन कहीं चाहिँ क नै हुन्छ हैन. रिप्रेजेन्टेसन स्ल्यान्ट स्क्वायर ब्राकेटबाट आको. Where is this? यो यसले रिप्रेजेन्ट गरिन्छ एउटा हैन. यसले रिप्रेजेन्ट गरिन्छ. अर्को चाहिँ CAT क्याट भन्दा पनि CAT क्याट भन्दा नि क नै आउँछ हैन. KIT काइट भन्दा नि क नै आउँछ. So these are what? These are different realizations or different symbols we use to represent the क sound. This is phonics. यसलाई phonics भन्छ के. क sound लाई क CAT क्याटमा पनि क नै छ हैन. CAT क्याटमा पनि क नै छ. त्यो भनेको C छ त्यहाँ सिम्बल हैन. C सिम्बलले रिप्रेजेन्ट गर्यो क लाई. अनि KIT काइट भन्दा पनि क नै छ तर त्यहाँ क सिम्बल हो हैन. क C and this kind of symbols we use to represent the क sound. So in English we have this kind of relationship. Sound symbol relationship फरक हुन्छ नेपालीमा के इंग्लिशमा. But in Nepali we have one-to-one relationship. त्यो यसलाई चाहिँ phonics भन्छ. Pronunciation aspect you understand. So one implication is this. So by the knowledge of phonetics and phonology, English teacher can help their learners to learn or develop knowledge of what? Knowledge of phonemic awareness. This means how many phonemes are there, how they are produced, which speech organs are involved for the production of particular sounds, then how one sound is represented by different symbols, then how they are pronounced. This kind of knowledge, very basic knowledge, teacher can support learners to develop. यो एउटा part भयो. Then a teacher cannot teach language without linguistic knowledge. A teacher cannot teach language without linguistic knowledge. Every teacher gets ideas from linguistics to design, construct, and use materials, activities, and text. Therefore, every teacher should utilize the linguistics knowledge in everyday lesson planning and what? Teaching. यो कुरा लेख्न सक्यो. And linguistic describes and provides the detailed and comprehensive description of language structures, components of language like sounds, words, phrases, sentences, etc. By this knowledge, an English teacher can plan daily lesson activities to help learners in learning target language. So the real contribution of linguistics is to increase one's understanding अथवा awareness, AWARE, yes, awareness of AWA, awareness of the nature of language, होइन. These are what systems of system भन्नुभएको थियो तपाईहरुले. So we have sounds, we have words, we have what phrase, sentence, color sentence, paragraphs, होइन. We have. So there is structures also, होइन.
Hello, sir. Namaste. Hello. Hello.
नमस्ते नमस्ते सर नमस्ते
सर त्यो हाम्रो युनियनको सरले सुन्नुभयो हाम्रो त्यो उसको के प्रोफेसनल डेभलपमेन्टको इथिक्सको त नोट्स आ छैन राजु के रमेश सरको नि
प्रोफेसनल इथिक्सको भन्नुभएको
Hello, are you listening to me? Please, everyone. Hello. Yes. Yes. Due to this, electricity problem, I became disconnected. I'm very sorry. Now let's continue. Today we have to finish this. Linguistics describes the nature of language. We understand the nature of language and provides the detailed and comprehensive description of language structures, components of language, like different sounds, words, phrases, sentences, and describe गर्छ. Then by this knowledge, an English teacher can plan daily lesson activities to help learners in learning target language. So they make aware. English teacher makes aware to the to their learners about the structures of what structures of target language. Okay, target target language. One thing. Then the real contribution of linguistics. The real contribution of linguistics is to increase one's understanding, awareness of the nature of language. This can be done in a real language learning class, in a real classroom, in language classroom. This can be done in a language classroom. One thing, awareness development, is some specific linguistic knowledge is required by the language teacher for assessment, for choosing learning activities, for course planning and design. There is a need for the teacher to know about language and how it is learned. So this can be done. Then knowledge about language and language learning is still have a central role to play in English language teacher training for speakers of other languages. You want to go TESOL. TESOL. TESOL means teaching English to the speakers of what other languages. It means that linguistics and applied linguistics have a place in a teacher education program for language teacher. So knowledge about language and language learning, knowledge about language को बारेमा, and language learning, how learning takes place. These things still have central role to play in language teacher training, in English language teacher training. Training. It means that linguistics and applied linguistics have a place in teacher education program for language teachers. So by studying linguistics, teachers will have a deeper knowledge or understanding, into the nature of language. They then prepare lesson activities accordingly in teaching language classroom. The greater the teacher's understanding of basic language structure and processes, the easier it is for the teacher to make good decisions on tough topics like phonics, spelling, grammar. So here, the more teachers understand language, the more effectively they can help their students to develop their knowledge of language. So linguistics provides important implications for the preparation of syllabuses. Syllabuses curriculum in our context, CURRI, CUELA curricula. In the preparation of curricula, teaching lessons, programs and teaching lessons. In preparing curricula, daily lessons, materials and methodology. The language teacher cannot proceed without linguistic knowledge. Knowledge. So linguistics is important for language teaching because the relationship between linguistic and language teaching can be assumed as the knowledge about engine and what. So this is what final thought. Conclusion. यसलाई कन्क्लुजनमा राखौ, तल आउँछ, त्यसो यसलाई यहाँ हटाइदिउँ. Let's remove from here. The conclusion also. So language descriptions provide the inputs to the construction of teaching materials and to design the teaching activities to apply in the classroom successfully. Many language learning theories are proposed on the basis of certain linguistic theories. English teachers, can apply those learning theories in course of helping learners to learn language. Knowledge of these learning theories lies at the heart of understanding what language is, how language learners can learn, how they learn, and what they learn. This helps teachers to teach and evaluate their students. This kind of implication we write. Then finally, this is very important. In conclusion, it can be said that knowledge about the engine of knowledge about engine of car is linguistics. Linguistic knowledge about the engine of car is what? Linguistics. And the skill of driving a car is what? And then skill of driving car is what? Language teaching. Now again, you see here, हामीलाई कारको इन्जिनहरु सबै पार्ट पुर्जाहरुको बारेमा थाहा हुनु भनेको, this is a kind of linguistics knowledge. Then to drive a car is what? This is language teaching. By the use of linguistic knowledge, we plan daily activities. In this way, we do. If the driver has the knowledge about the engine, he can drive well. Same is the case with linguistics and language teaching. यसरी चाहिँ हामीले concluding गर्न सक्छौं. Okay, so knowledge about engine of car is linguistics. This means every parts, every function of the car, a driver should have this kind of knowledge. Only then he can drive perfectly, successfully. Then similarly, if the teacher has knowledge of linguistics, then he can teach language successfully perfectly in the classroom. So this kind of conclusion we can make finally. So these are about implications of linguistics and what language teaching. यो important है, यो चाहिँ बुझ्नै पर्छ. यो चाहिँ this is what important, important from examination point of view. Exam point of view. यो बुझ्नु भएन भने सोध्नुस्, छलफल गरौँ, but you have to understand this. यो चाहिँ बुझ्नुपर्छ. Okay, now after this we go to the sound system. Sound system सरसर्ती हेर्छौँ. Then we finish this unit also. Sound system. This is what comparison between Nepali and what? English. First English, then Nepali. English and what? Nepali. This is also important. यो पनि important छ. ल implication मा केही छ भने राखौं. Otherwise, we go ahead. हामी अगाडि बढ्छौं. Yes. So his voice is small. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Now it is clear. It's clear. Okay. Okay. So contrastive analysis, this is separate, topic for the discussion. But here just we can understand that we compare the sound system, and then we compare the structure of two different languages. दुईटा फरक भाषाको चाहिँ साउन्ड सिस्टमहरु compare गर्ने, स्ट्रक्चरहरु contrast गर्ने. This is what contrastive analysis. And then contrastive analysis finds out what are the similarities between two languages, what are the differences between two languages. These things we discuss in contrastive analysis. So you are asking contrastive analysis, CONTRAS, contrastive analysis. And this is what comparison between two linguistic system. Okay. Yes, Suku wants to speak. Yes.
Sir.
Yes.
That application part of developing the language between north and bold.
Yes. Could you repeat once again? Yes, so could you repeat once again? Nuts and bolts के भनेर भएको थियो. So nuts and bolts, त्यहाँ किताबमा मैले लेखिदिएको छु हैन. त्यो सायद त्यो सोध्नुभयो जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई, nuts and bolts. So these nuts and bolts are what sound systems, sound system को बारेमा थाहा हुनु, sound system. Then
Yes, sir. Yes, I was muted. Now I will.
Yes. What is the question?
Developing language, teaching nuts and bolts, and the genesis of school curriculum lies in linguistics. How about writing these 6 points and describing briefly instead of that what you have written?
So
All these points?
yes. These concepts of those like genesis of curriculum lies at the linguistic theory. त्यो चाहिँ यसमा आउँछ. For example, where is planning curricula?
How about writing 6 points and describing it briefly?
That will be, but again, my suggestion is to write these specific ones. You can also get ideas from there also, like knowledge from phonetics and phonology, this phonemic awareness, phonics, pronunciation aspect they learn. So this kind of idea we can use in the language teaching one. And specific छ यिनीहरु हैन, त्यहाँबाट पनि स्पेसिफिक तान्न सक्यौं भने हुन्छ. बुझ्नु भएको छ भने ठीक छ. Jastly teacher can design, construct materials to support the difficulty area or to support the learning process by the knowledge of linguistics. Here, describes the nature of language and the different components. So, yeah, components or nuts and bolts. So, like describes nature of language and then structures, as well as different components like sounds, words, phrases, sentences. Yes, ko knowledge ho na nuts and bolts, okay. In your nuts and bolts, okay. Nuts and bolts. In your line tightly use garna paryo. Rightly, tightly, if we use, then there will be what complete system of learning. Ela jod dinu paryo haina. Yही भन्न खोजेको यो चाहिँ nuts and bolts भने basic essentials of language. Basic ESSE and basic essentials of language should be used what? Should be used rightly and what tightly. यसरी use गर्न पर्यो हैन. Then what? Then becomes what? Perfect learning. त्यता जाने भन्ने कुरा हो हैन. And then you are talking about the genesis of curriculum development. It starts from the linguistic theory. That's fine. त्यो पनि हो. त्यसलाई कसरी बुझौं भने कहाँनेर बुझौं भने
communicative competence and
yes. यहाँनेर यो पार्टलाई जस्तै linguistics provides important implication for preparation of curricula. Preparation of curriculum, this is what curriculum development is here. Then delineation activities, materials, selection of methodology, preparation of curricular delineations, then selection of appropriate methodology. So the language teacher cannot proceed without this kind of knowledge. Your curriculum development ko kuraharu, delineation, plan preparation ko kuraharu, material construction and selection of appropriate methodology, we can do according to the knowledge of linguistics. So there are different other linguistic theories also, like generative theory or communicative approaches ko kuraharu sabai yo linguistics kai area bhitra aउने हो. So by the knowledge of this we can create communicative, interactive, cooperative, collaborative learning environment in the classroom. ती सबै linguistic theory हुन हैन. त्यसको knowledge चाहिँ हामीले कसरी चाहिँ language teaching मा ल्याउन सक्छौं भन्ने कुरा हो. तर linguistics लाई अलि broad perspective बाट बुझ्न पर्यो. Linguistics लाई so different branches of linguistics we have, then basic concepts of linguistics we have got. Then by this knowledge, how can we bring in language teaching to make perfect teaching, to make effective teaching, efficient learning. So this is the concern. त्यसलाई मिलाएर लेखौं. यो पोइन्ट स्पेसिफिक अलि सजिलो हुन्छ कि तपाईहरुलाई भनेर यो चाहिँ राख्दिए मैले. So comparison between two languages चाहिँ हाम्रो के हुन्छ? This is what a contrast comparison of comparison between two languages, focusing on similarities. What are the similarities? Then and similarities and differences. के फरक छ यो सबै पत्ता लगाउनु भनेको के भने सो कन्ट्रास्टिभ एनालिसिस हो कन्ट्रास्टिभ एनालिसिस हो देन यसले के पत्ता लगाउँछ भने what are the easy areas for learning सजिलो एरिया कुन कुन हो भनेर यसले बताउँछ एउटा easy areas for learning and what are the difficulty areas, what are the difficult difficulty area in learning language यसले बताइदिन्छ के contrastive analysis ले then teaching then त्यसपछि के हुन्छ teaching should focus planning and teaching should focus कहाँनिर फोकस गर्नु पर्यो difficulty area should focus on difficulty area यही हो difficulty areas त्यहाँ फोकस गर्नु पर्यो हैन कन्ट्रास्टिभ एनालिसिस ले त्यो चाहिँ यस्तो दिन्छ अर्को एरर एनालिसिस भन्ने पनि हुन्छ हैन एरर ANALY एरर एनालिसिस सो एरर एनालिसिस finds out हैन identifies what potential potential areas of what committing errors COMMITTINs committing errors then what teachers can focus teachers can focus on the focus on the potentially difficult areas potentially difficult areas यही हो linguistic knowledge बाट हामीले लिने भनेको what are the difficult area where are the difficulties then how can we support them in learning what language effectively efficiently in easier way त्यो भन्ने कुरा यो error analysis this contrastive analysis these are what the areas of linguistics by the knowledge of this we can help our learners in learning language target language efficiently यो कुराहरु चाहिँ यहाँ हेर्नु पर्ला हैन त so I think you have written this in the chat box yes now sound system of course English sound system we discussed first English language has two types of sound system and they are what yes sound system they are vowel and what they are consonant sounds consonants consonants भने पनि भयो अथवा यसलाई consonants भने पनि भयो अथवा consonant sounds भने पनि भयो consonant sounds next what SOUND sounds then another is vowels or vowel sounds vowel sounds we have then so consonant sounds we have when we talk about consonant sounds consonants how many consonant sounds we have consonants are we have 24 they are so तिनीहरुको नाम पनि लेख्न सक्नु पर्यो हैन so प ब ट ड क ग हैन we have प ब ट ड क ग फ भ हैन then थ द अब यो सिम्बल ल्याउनु पर्यो फेरि यहाँ थ द हैन so you know तपाईलाई थाहा छ यो चाहिँ थ द I need थ sound it takes time यो insert बाट ल्याउनु पर्छ यो साउन्ड फेरि sounds okay we have the sound we have the sound this is the sound sorry we have the sound, and for tha the. Then we have saw sound, we have ja sound, sa ja, pha bha tha da sa ja, ma na, nga, mo na nga sound also we have. You understand? यो तपाईले बुझ्नु भएको छ 24 वटा साउन्ड सर र सम्झना पर्यो है. ng sound, nasal sounds, what is ng sound? यसले टाइम लाग्ने हो, म तपाईलाई अर्को देखाउँछु है त. जस्ट यस म न ङ ल र व ह साउन्ड also ल र व य, ल र व य sound, ल र व य ह sound. Where is ल र ह ल य व sound. यहाँ ng चाहिँ छुटेको छ एउटा है. ng sound is missing, symbols missing here. How many sounds have? Pa ba ta ta ka ka pha ba tha tha. ए च ज पनि बाँकी छ. च ज च ज च ज sounds. त म यसरी लेख्नु भन्दा अब तपाईलाई चित्रबाट देखाउँछु. यो साउन्ड तान्न गाह्रो भयो. ओके. एकैछिन है, जस्ट अ मिनट. ओके, यहाँबाट देखाउँछु मैले. नोटमा चाहिँ राखौँ ल. साउन्ड सिस्टम. यस, यहाँ हेर्नु त. Yeah, yeah. So English consonant phonemes basic inventory is here. So this pa ba pa ta ka ba da ga cha ja ma na nga यहाँ न sound पनि फेरि यस्तो आयो. ng घुमेको आउँछ. फ थ स स भ ng ज ज ल र व य ह, हैन. These 24 consonant sounds we have. यसलाई चाहिँ कसरी कन्ट्रोल गरौँ भने सम्झनको लागि अलि सजिलो छ. यो सिम्बल यहाँ आयो कि हैन राम्रोसँग. ल ठिकै छ, ठिकै छ भनौँ यसलाई एकछिन. Then next column here. ल प्लसिभ भनौँ एउटा क्याटेगोरी, एउटा फ्रिकेटिभ्स भनौँ, फ्रिकेटिभ्स भनौँ, एउटा एफ्रिकेट्स भनौँ, अर्को नेजल भनौँ, अर्को एप्रोक्सिमेट भनौँ, एप्रोक्सिमेन्ट्स. हाउ मेनी प्लसिभ साउन्ड्स डु हैव? प्लसिभ कतिवटा हुन्छ हामीसँग? एप्रोक्सिमेन्ट्स, एमइएनटिएस, एप्रोक्सिमेन्ट. ल यो 4-5 वटामा चाहिँ हामीले क्याटेगोराइज गरौँ एकछिनलाई. Okay, how many plosive sounds do you have? Plosive sounds are 6. Like plosive sound pa ba pa ba ta da, da pa ba ta da ka, ka and go. These are what plosive sounds, होइन. 6 पब टड यो पियरमा छ भने पटक बटक भनेर सम्झिनु भयो. पटक प यसरी भोइसलेस भोइस गरे सम्झे पनि भयो होइन. प देन ट क पटक भनेर सम्झे पनि भयो एउटा तरिका. पटक त्यसपछि बडग होइन. पटक सर जान्छ एकचोटि त्यसपछि बडग जान्छ एकचोटि होइन. So this is also one way of remembering pataka, bodaka, pataka and bodaka. This way also you can remember. Another way is pava tada kaga. Yes, so pava tada kaga. Yes, phonetics. Yes, this is phonetics and phonology. This is for the university. Now these 6 are the plosive sounds. Pava tada kaga. पटक बडग भनेर सम्झे पनि भयो हैन. सो 6 plosives are 6 भनौं. बट इन नेपाली चाहिँ कतिवटा छ plosives? इन नेपाली we have 16 plosives. We have 16 plosives. हो यसरी फरक हुन्छ के. plosives. plosives लाई stop sound पनि भन्छ हैन. stop sound पनि भन्छ. plosives or stops. Plosives or stops हैन. We have 6 in English. We have 6 in English. As a rough match, भोलि यसलाई अलिकति systematically present गरौँला. So we have 6 in English, pataka bodaka, and in Nepali we have 16 plosive sounds. त्यो क ग क ख ग घ ट ठ ड ढ त थ द ध न त थ द ध प फ ब भ. यो चाहिँ कजन 16 वटा चाहिँ so we have in Nepali. हैन. क ख ग घ ट ठ ड ढ त थ द ध प फ ब भ. These are what 16 in Nepali. And they are the plosive or stops हैन. Fricatives मा चाहिँ हाम्रो नेपाली इंग्लिश मा कतिवटा छ? 6. This is what how many fricatives do you have? There is the sound. Fricatives भन्नुस् त. 9, yes. 9 fricatives in English. In Nepali ma like fa ba tha da यो थ द यहाँबाट ल्याएर दिउँ. fa ba then थ द हैन. 4 भयो. अरु भन्नुस् त. फ ब थ द स ज हैन. स ज अनि अर्को स आउँछ हैन. one more sa is there. स ज ह हैन. This sa this is what moto sa हैन. Then what next one is then fa ba tha da sa ja ha चाहियो हैन. These are what fricative sounds in English. And English मा यो कतिवटा छ? 9 वटा हैन. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 वटा भयो हैन. 3 3 8 अझै एउटा चाहियो हैन. कुन चाहिँ? फ ब थ द स ज ह. Which one is missing? One more is missing. फ ब थ द स ज ह. फ ब थ द स ज ए ज अर्को एउटा छ नि त यहाँ एउटा ज छुट्यो. स ज स यो सलाई स यसलाई अगाडि ल्याइदिउँ. स हैन. देन ज अर्को ज छ एउटा. So this is j sound. This is j sound. Yes. Now I think this 9 fa ba tha da sa j हैन. स ज ह कति भयो? 9 वटा भयो हैन. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay. And affricates are j and j. ए यो ज त माथि आउँदैन नि साँच्चै. सरी. Wait. यसो गरौँ आजलाई यति नै गरौँ यो साउन्डलाई म भोलि फिगरमै छुट्टै लिएर आउँछु पानामा है अनि कुरा गरौँला अलि अलि अप्ठ्यारो भयो आज ओके ल केही क्वेसन छ भने राखौँ भोलि गरौँला sound system yes please if you have any question please ask otherwise we continue tomorrow यो sound system मा ड्र गर्न अलि गाह्रो भयो ढिला भयो के yes how do we have to write consonants serially or consonant serially भन्दा पनि so how you understand कसरी बुझ्नुहुन्छ जस्तै प प ब ट ड क ग फ भ थ द स ज स ह म न ङ ल र व य भन्ने 24 वटा साउन्ड छ नि त्यो 24 वटा साउन्ड सम्झन पर्यो तपाईले and then you have to know place of articulation manner of articulation of voicing quality हेर्ने हो place of articulation just bilevel one place of articulation there are 6 consonants then fricatives are 9 त्यो एउटा ग्रुप सम्झनु पर्यो then affricates 2 nasal 3 हैन approximant चाहिँ 4 वटा affricates चाहिँ चर ज दुईटा गरेर these are the place of articulation हैन manner of articulation हेर्दाखेरि अब तिनीहरु के रे these are the manner of articulation place of articulation हेर्दा bilabial dental lebidental palatal alveolar velar भन्ने छ नि these are the manner of place of articulation then voicing qualities is simple सजिलो छ पेयर मा भएकोलाई voice voiceless गर्ने हो पेयर मा पेयर नभएकोलाई सबै voiced हो हैन so in this way we understand so tomorrow regularly भन्नु पर्दैन so serially पनि होइन मात्र के भने नि place of articulation manner of articulation थाहा हुनु पर्यो के place भन्ने बित्तिकै जस्तै कहाँबाट त this bilevel 2 leaves are involved how many bilevel sounds are there भन्दाखेरि there are 4 भन्नु पर्यो प ब म व they are the bilevel sounds भन्नु पर्यो हैन what are the fricative sounds भन्दाखेरि fricative sounds भन्ने बित्तिकै then we have to remember 9 हैन फ ब थ द स ज स ह म न स ज ह यो 9 वटा भन्नु what are the nasal sounds भन्दाखेरि nasal sounds are 3 भन्नु पर्यो म न ङ हैन these 3 are the nasal sounds भने यसरी चाहिँ क्याटेगोराइज गर्नु पर्यो serially we should not remember serially भन्ने नै हुँदैन यो डिफरेन्सिएसन अफ 3 यस्तो चाहिँ पर्दैन हामीले नहेरौं भराइटिज अफ यो एलोफोन्स हो हैन एलोफोन्स हो फोनेम इज व्हाट र इज व्हाट फुल फोनेम देन इट्स भेरिएसन र अर्को ट्रिल र ट्याप र भन्छ नि हैन that not necessary here यसलाई त्यति धेरै बुझ्नु पर्दैन युनिभर्सिटीमा पढियो र यहाँ फर द एक्जामिनेसन पर्सपेक्टिभ so just we understand there is a raw sound and it has variation of raw trill trap हैन then we just understand it कस्तो क्याटेगोरी र साउन्ड कस्तो क्याटेगोरी भन्नु त देखिन त so I think trill and tap sems are no they are the variation of different languages ma paउने हो यिनीहरु हैन so we are mainly focused on English and Nepali sounds हैन English मा र साउन्ड छ भनौ र को भेरिएसन पनि छ भनौ हैन र नेपालीमा र साउन्ड छ भनौ हैन त्यसरी जाऊ अब यहाँ ट्याप ट्रिल यो भित्र गयो भने then again we go to the M.Ed and B.Ed so sounds पढ्ने हो English sounds and Nepali sounds English sounds भनेर the number you have to remember English sounds are what consonants 24 vowel 20 altogether 44 sounds then Nepali sounds we have 6 vowel मा जाँदाखेरि 6 monophthongs we have 11 diphthongs altogether there will be I think 16 then 29 consonant sounds but altogether 45 भन्न सकिन्छ हैन यसरी पहिला sounds को number हेरौं कुन sounds छ हेर्नु पर्यो then what are the similarities what are the differences how do it is different sounds यति हेरिस बुक्स यसमा चाहिँ ओके स्क्रिन मैले देखाएकै छैन yes so tomorrow remaining part thank you